Hello, welcome to the Clearwater County and Town of Rocky Mountain House COVID-19 business interview. This is our very first one. I'm Jerry Pratt, and we have Jeff.
Jeff,
Jeff, what's your position?
Economic Development Officer with the Town of Rocky Mountain House.
Right. And I'm the same for Clearwater County. So we had the opportunity today to speak with Dan and Jamie from Rocky Credit Union here in Rocky Mountain House to talk a little bit about the information that we think people need to know when it comes to the banking world. So that's still doing your deposits, bill payments, but also loans and some of the programs that are available. So we'll go to the interview now, and then we'll talk a little bit about some information after. Yeah. Hi, Jamie, Jeff. Glad we're all here now. Jamie, we're going to be talking about some of the things people need to know in order to continue doing business and what banking world would like them to know. But first, can you tell us what your role with the credit union is?
Sure. So my role is called a financial services officer. So we're kind of like the wealth department, so investments. We take care of estates, and then we also take care of small business account needs.
Okay. And what are some of the things during this time of COVID-19 when we're supposed to be isolating and trying to reduce personal contact? What are some of the things that you would like people to know but still be able to do their banking?
Okay. So we have lots of different ways for people to access their banking without coming into the branch. So the first thing would be online banking. People can log in, view their account, see transactions. They can transfer between accounts. They can send e-transfers to people. We can even, through our online banking app, you can deposit checks by just taking pictures of your check. We also have where we have like a night depository that people can access during non-business hours. So businesses can come to the branch and get cash and checks deposited and kind of off their hands and secure right away. So they can do that. Of course, through online banking, you can also manage like your bill payments and stuff like that.
Okay. How about tax payments? I know a lot of people feel they need to go in.
Right. So as far as federal tax payments, those can be made online. Alberta's are a little bit different, but they do also have an online option. You just have to get set up through Alberta Finance. And we have people that can help you get signed in for the first time, and then you can kind of take over from there.
Okay. And how about, I know a lot of businesses sometimes transfer between accounts. Is they able to do that online or over the phone?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can transfer between business accounts, and you can also transfer between personal and business accounts online.
Okay. And what would you recommend for payroll? I mean, everybody still needs to be able to cash their check. What are some of your recommendations around helping your staff reduce personal contact with payroll?
Right. So if you do receive like a physical check, you can deposit those with our remote deposit capture through online banking. As far as the small businesses go, if they only have a couple of employees, they can send e-transfers that get direct deposited to their employees' accounts. Or you can get set up through CAFT if you have more than a couple employees, because there are dollar limits daily, weekly, and monthly on e-transfers. So you can get set up through CAFT where it's direct deposited to the employees' accounts as well.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like people to know about banking in this time of trying to stay away from people? Do you get a lot of lineups in branch?
Right. So if you do have to come into the branch, we do have stickers on the floor so that we can maintain social distancing. And then we also have screens up between like the tellers and stuff. So there's just not that cross-contamination kind of between staff and members.
Okay. Because we all want each other to be safe and protected, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. Jerry.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jamie.
Yeah.
We sure appreciate it. If we can move on with Dan, and we'll talk a little bit about some lending issues for business.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Welcome, Dan. I'm going to turn the questioning over to Jeff here.
Hey, Dan. What should businesses know about talking with their lender, account manager during tough economic times? I got a few more points to this question. What information should businesses have before talking with you?
Actually, a couple things. First of all, as Jamie said, we are open to the public, so people are welcome to come in and ask us questions as well. But we do prefer, probably for our safety and the member safety too, that you call in. We have access by phone or by email. We could do a lot over the email now, so we ask people that maybe look at that form of proposal. When it originally started with this whole virus concerns, there was a lot of talk about personal loans deferring payments and looking for options for them. Well, that same thing applies for businesses too as well. So if your business has been impacted by the COVID-19 crisis, then by all means give us a call and we can start reviewing options that we can do for you, and some of them would be like deferring payments, there's a number of other things that maybe we can do a consolidation loan or just to help you out a little bit with those types of things. We do ask the businesses, sometimes it's handy if they have interim results, we do encourage them to bring those in as well, or you can fax or email them in. It's always good to see where your business was at, prior to what's happening, and then we can analyze how that's going to impact you over the next, who knows, it could be 2, 3, 6 months, we're not sure.
Dan, you spoke of loan deferral or deferral payments, and I presume that goes with overdrafts as well? Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we may have to look at extending your overdraft or something as well. So, and again, those kind of things could be kind of good to see your financials, and that we probably need some updated personal information from you. But yeah, by all means, we're looking at however we can help. So it could be a number of different avenues that we look at.
And that would all lead to needing access to cash. And another pointer, how to speak with your lender when you go into the branch. What do they need to be a little bit more prepared with?
Yeah, and again, I think further to what Jamie was saying earlier, I think we still allow access to, remember, you can still come into the branch to see us, and by all means, we're fine with that. Again, it's just a matter of being respectful. We'll try to we try to do everything we can as far as sanitizing and keeping everything clean and acknowledging their social distances and being respectful. And we kind of ask that too of the members as well, if they can just show us that kind of distancing as well. But by all means, come into the branch, but probably the preferable form of contact is by phone, and like I said, we can do a lot over online via emails and DocuSign, and so a lot of stuff can be done without you coming into the branch.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, and in the last area, I guess the question of there's a lot of programs being rolled out by the government right now. Some of them targeted specifically at businesses. What are the programs that financial institutions are familiar with, and probably the ones that they're actually supposed to help with? Because I've heard some programs are rolling out through the financial institutions themselves.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there, and things are changing daily, if not hourly, about programs being offered by federal and provincial governments. But the programs offered at the branch, or the ones that I can talk to specifically anyways that we are, is the Canada Emergency Business Account Program. What that is a $40,000 loan. It's an interest-free loan to employers who had payroll between $20,000 and $1.5 million in 2019. So if you're an eligible employer within that, you've had a T4 summary that defines you're within that parameters, you're eligible for that $40,000 loan. So it's interest-free until December 31st, 2022. If you pay the loan off prior to that, they forgive $10,000 of that. So 25% of that is free, actually. If you're unable to pay the loan by December 31st, 2022, then the funds just get rolled over into a regular term loan. It's a 3-year amortization, and the interest rate that they set at this point is 5%. So, but it's a pretty good program for a lot of businesses that are struggling right now. This gives it's relatively quick access to funding, and yeah, I think it's something to consider.
As you're working with businesses going through all this, I mean, some of these businesses have had no revenue for a few months now. What are any of the other programs that you're recommending for them to check out?
Yeah, there's quite a few, and actually I went online to look at them because, again, like I said, things are changing all the time. But the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy has just started recently as well. And that subsidy generally covers 75% of the employee's wages, up to $847 per week. And that's for employers of all sizes and across all sectors. And it runs for March, April, and May. So I think that's a fairly new program. So there's also a temporary wage subsidy of 10%, where it's a 3-month measure that will allow eligible employers to reduce the amount of payroll deduction remitted to the CRA as well. Something new that's coming out too is it's called the Canadian Emergency Commercial Rent Assistance. So I just found this online yesterday, so if I could share that with you.
Okay.
This program will lower rent by 75% for small businesses that have been affected by COVID-19. So the program will provide forgivable loans to qualifying commercial property owners to cover 50% of 3 monthly rent payments that are payable by eligible small business tenants who are experiencing financial hardship during April, May, and June. So that could be you own a commercial building and you have a restaurant in that building, and the restaurant, of course, is closed and can't operate. Then this can kind of kick in and help you out as well. There is another program that we haven't got the details on, but it's the hospitality industry too as well. We just got an email about that yesterday or the day before, and we still haven't got details on that, but it's specifically to the hospitality industries as well. So. And one other program too, and we're actually still looking for details on this, but it's a business credit availability program. And it's a partnership between financial institutions and EDC, Economic Export Development Corporation, and BDC, Business Development Corporation. And what they'll do is, depending on your revenue, they'll EDC or BDC will guarantee the bank loans up to 80%. Now that's being rolled out right now to financial institutions, and we're still looking here to get more details on that. The funding for that money, there's very specific on how that funding can be made. So, for example, you can't use it to pay your dividends, or you can't use it to pay down debt. It has to be strictly for wages. So those are kind of the ones that I found online here in the last couple of days. And of course, there's always other things. Revenue Canada has deferred their when you're required to file your taxes as well. There's also utility companies. If you approach your utility companies, there's forgiveness there. I know the town, and I think the county is looking at waiving late payment fees for things like for your taxes as well too. So there's a lot of other things going on out there that definitely can help you out at a point when you're short on cash flow.
Okay. Is there anything else you want businesses to be aware of before we go?
Yeah, I think for most businesses, I don't want you to think that you're suffering alone. I think everybody's in the same boat. And I know we talk to a lot of members, and there's a lot of concern out there, and I think just rest assured that you're not alone, and that I think financial institutions realize that they have to do what they can to help you out. And I think we can mutually work together with our members, as well as I think take advantage of these programs that the government is offering, and just to help ease the pain over the next few months. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, that we can get things rolling back in another 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dan, and thank you to Jamie. I think you're still sitting over there.
Yeah.
We sure appreciate you sharing this information, and we'll share this out so as many people can see it as possible.
Yeah, that's great, and we actually appreciate that both Jerry and Jeff and the town and the county made this available, and I think it's great to get as much information out there as possible, because there's a lot of people hear bits and pieces, and it'd be good to get some facts and some further information around that. So thank you guys for doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll talk again another time.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I think Dan and Jamie shared some good information.
Yes.
And Dan was right. There are programs rolling out, especially from the federal government, and it seems to be changing every day. So I know both yourself with the town and us with the county, we do have websites that provide information. We're trying to provide a lot of different links to people for personal stuff and business stuff as well. How would they find it on the town site?
By going to www.rockymtnhouse.com, and you'll find our COVID page right on the front page, and then it'll carry you through to many other links. We are keeping updated with it as quickly as we can, and there's just a world of resources there.
And for Clearwater County, it's at clearwatercounty.ca. Similar, the COVID-19 information is I think the link is really obvious on the website. The page seems to be getting longer because there's so much more information coming out. So we've tried to categorize it into useful sections for people. We also have information from the Canadian Chamber of Commerce and a few other organizations that help provide some good advice and templates on planning for businesses as well. This was our first interview that we've been able to do. We're hoping to do a few more. Next week we're trying to do one on customer relationships during a time of social isolation, which could be interesting. And our plan is to have accounting and HR experts from our local area down the road as well. Jeff, anything you want businesses to know before we go?
By all means, if there's anything you're not sure of, you can't find online, please call. You can reach myself at 403-846-4260 or Jerry, and we gladly help and guide or offer some advice of best practices that we've learned from others that are challenged just as well as so many others out there.
Yep. And you can call the county line at 403-845-4444. And whatever we can do to help. Hopefully, we have been speaking with businesses mostly about pointing them in the right direction for information that they're looking for it can be overwhelming, what's going on and what's real and what's not, because there's also a lot of misinformation. So we're trying to keep up to date with the most recent, accurate information, and we are sharing it out websites and in person. So please feel free to call us, and we hopefully look forward to seeing you next week if you want to watch this, our continuing series. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
Okay.